Hello everyone, it's Tom. I am back with another video for you. Today I am bringing you a Tempest Monk GR speed build with Monkey King's Garb set. I will introduce this with mostly non-ancient items with 800 Paragon level in an 80 level speed GR for a simple demonstration. Now let's see this Monkey King's Garb set in a few words quickly. This set focuses on Sweeping Wind and forcing you to keep the skill active to maintain the massive damage bonuses to 3 targeted skills like Lashing Tail Kick, Tempest Rush and Wave of Life. With 2-piece bonus, your damage taken is reduced by 50% while Sweeping Wind is active. Thanks to the 4-piece bonus, every second Sweeping Wind spawns a decoy next to the last enemy you hit, and then taunts nearby enemies and then explode for 1000% weapon damage for each stack of Sweeping Wind you have. Lastly, the 6-piece bonus, Lashing Tail Kick, Tempest Rush and Wave of Light have their damage increased by 1500 for each stack of Sweeping Wind you have. Okay, our main damage dealer will be Tempest Rush with Electric Field rune. Thanks to this rune, we should use plus lightning elemental damage in our gear. It costs 30 spirit, so your main goal is a really good resource management. This will determine the shape of our build. There are some mandatory items which you cannot avoid. The most important is Vengeful Wind. It expands the damage of your spenders through the interaction of Sweeping Wind stacks and the Sunwuko 6-piece set bonus. Increases the maximum stack count of Sweeping Wind by 10 and increases the damage by up to 800%. But this damage multiplier not really important for us. The ideal stats of this weapon: Dex, extra damage, area damage and socket. As for secondary, life per kill. Your other weapon will be the Wonkim Lao, which acts as both a damage multiplier for Tempest Rush and an automated source of Cyclone Strike, which adds a value by creating an extra monster density. The ideal stats: Dex, extra lightning damage, area damage and socket. As for secondary, life per kill. Before I introduce another used items, I would like to talk about the cube choices. First is the ring. To avoid undesirable guaranteed stats of Ring of Royal Granger, you should use in the cube. Thanks to this item, you can use the Monkey King's Garb set and Captain Crimson trimmings together. This set provides cooldown reduction as well as resource cost reduction bonuses, and then scales your damage dealt and damage reduced according to both stats respectively. In armor slot, we will use Prideful to a better resource management. Your resource costs are reduced by 30% after not taking damage for 5 seconds. Important: the resource cost from Prideful gets added to your sheet resource cost, therefore scales with Crimson 3-piece buff. This will be important from a different perspective too. I will talk about this in the legendary gem section. And lastly, the balance as weapon in cube. It's a mandatory choice. It boosts Tempest Rush damage by up to 600% and guarantees its crits against 3 enemies or less. Okay, now back to the used item in gear. The last item with damage multiplier to Tempest Rush is Caesar's Memento's Bracer. To gain this buff, you have to hit your enemies with Stun, Blind or Freeze. The free Cyclone Strike from Wonkim Lao triggers Caesar Memento damage increase. But you have to choose Whirlwind Room for Cyclone Strike because this room freezes your enemies. The ideal stats: lightning damage, dex, crit chance and life regen. As secondary, melee or missile damage reduction. Why the life regen stat is so important? This will support Skirt Necklace and Molten Shield Gem. So, Skirt Necklace. This legendary pierce greatly increases both damage dealt and unfortunately your damage taken. But most of the time, you likely 1 or 2 shot almost everything, mainly in a solo game. So, in this way, you have a chance to maintain its stacks more easily. And a legendary gem will also help with this. The desired stats: lightning damage, crit chance, crit damage and socket. As for the secondary stat, physical resistance. And you have to use Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac in this build. This ring reduces the remaining cooldown of one of the skills by 1 second when hitting with a resource spending attack. With this, you can easily maintain Ephiani's skill almost constantly. This is important for 2 reasons. First is the resource management, and another is toughness. Ideal stats: crit chance, cooldown and resource cost reduction, socket and physical resistance as secondary stat. The another ring is unity in solo, because more damage reduction is really helpful in this build, especially with skirt necklace. Ideal roles: socket, crit chance, crit damage and extra damage to elites. And as secondary, the physical resistance is the best here. But if you play in group, you can use Stone of Jordan with plus lightning damage or the Convention of Elements ring with up to 200% temporary damage buff for 4 seconds. You need to keep a close eye on its rotation, if it's possible, to massively increase your damage during the lightning cycle. Okay, now let's check the best stats for the remaining items. Helm, Dex, crit chance, socket and temper slash damage bonus. As for secondary, physical resistance and pickup radius. Shoulders, Dex, auras, area damage and resource cost reduction. As for the secondary stats, half globe bonus and pickup radius. Chest, Dex, white, reduced elite damage and socket. Secondary stats, physical resistance and melee or missile damage reduction. Gloves, Dex, crit chance, crit damage and resource cost reduction. As for secondary, physical resistance and pickup radius. Pants, Dex, white, life regen and socket, and life per kill and pickup radius as secondary stats. Belt, Dex, white, life regen and auras, and life per kill and pickup radius as secondary stats. And lastly, the boots, Dex, white, auras, and temper slash damage bonus. Secondary, health globe bonus and pickup radius. Now the gems. If you want more toughness, use diamonds, and if you want more damage, use emeralds in chest and pants. For more cooldown reduction, use diamond in helm. In here, if you have resource problem, you can use topaz for more resource cost reduction. Just remember that topaz or diamond bonuses in helm scales with crimson 3-piece buff. Now the legendary gems. Bane of the Trap. It gives us more damage and movement speed reduction to our enemies. Taejuk for more damage and toughness via armor. With constant temper slash, you can easily maintain the max 10 stacks. Last one is Molten with life regen. It helps maintain your skirt necklace stacks and Cubed Prideful legendary bonus. To support this gem, use the life per second legendary potion. If you balance your gear, your ideal life pool should be around max 500,000. Just remember, with increased toughness from Captain Crimson and with the insane life regeneration from Molten Gem, you will stay at near full health most of the time. Now check our skills. The primary damage dealer is Tempest Rush, with the increased AoE damage of the Electric Field rune. This is a really good choice in a speed GR. With good resource management you can use it constantly, so the maintain of Taejuk stacks at max level is not a problem. It costs 30 spirits, but the high resource cost reduction will help with this. In this build, as you channel Tempest Rush, you will be applying the necessary CC for Caesar's Memento through the Auto Cyclone Strike pulse from Wunkim Lau, by selecting the Wall of Wind rune in the skill bar for Cyclone Strike. So its role is rather passive, and you don't have to spend spirit for this. Epiphany is an almost universal addition to Mom builds, since it has a default carb control immunity, spirit regeneration bonus which is 20 per second, and better mobility, and lastly the massive 50% damage reduction bonus of the Desert Shroud rune. The next is Sweeping Wind. This skill reduces incoming damage while active, and it stacks above the damage of your chosen spenders, which is Tempest Rush. It should be on your skill bar, but its damage can be completely ignored. The Inner Storm rune provides 8 spirit per second. For more damage and movement speed bonus, use Mantra of Conviction with Annihilation rune. But the activate of this mantra costs 50 spirit, so use it wisely, because your main goal is the constant usage of Tempest Rush. Your last active skill is the Monk Teleportation skill, Dashing Strike. You can move 50 yards with one charge, and thanks to the Way of the Falling Star rune, your movement speed is increased by 20% for 4 seconds. Okay, let's see the passive skills. First is the Relentless Assault. You deal 20% increased damage to enemies that are blinded, frozen or stunned. The next is Exalted Soul for spirit regeneration. Gives you 4 spirit per second. And for more cooldown reduction, use Beacon of Tar. The last one is Momentum. You gain 20% damage buff if you move 25 yards. And lastly, the skill rotation. The game begins with activation of Sweeping Wind. With stacking, it provides damage and protection bonuses. The Inner Storm Room provides resource regeneration. Once the tornado is up, you can use the Tempest Rush constantly. So you will be easily applying the necessary CC for Caesar's Memento through the Auto Cyclone Strike pulse from Bunkim Lau. For mobility and faster progression, use Dashing Strike if it's available. Maintain Epiphany for toughness and resource regeneration. With Zodiac Ring, you can easily maintain it constantly. And lastly, use Mantra of Conviction for more damage buff and a faster progression. But always make sure you have enough spirit left after you activate this mantra. Okay, I used only 800 Paragon points and non-ancient items. As you can see, these items are not too good with not the best stats. So there is a possibility for higher level GR and progression. With this, I want to show you a basic build which is easy to put together early in any season. I think we covered everything. You can find the DP Flanner link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this guide. If you have, please don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And see you in the next one. Peace.